Hello everyone. In my previous two videos, I have demonstrated a DAX formula to calculate the dynamic age for each record in fact table, and use the Power Query list function to convert a range to list for a dimension table. For example, in the fact table blood pressure list, I have the DAX formula to calculate the column for age. In the dimension table BP chart by age, I have the converted age list in column age for each row of BP range values, such as BP minimum, normal, and maximum values for systolic and diastolic. With this mentioned info plus gender info from dimension tables, I'm able to create a line chart to describe the trends of systolic BP and diastolic BP along with the date time. Even further, I can use the DAX functions to calculate the field values for conditionally formatting each BP reading record data labels according to the BP range benchmarks in the line chart. From my example file as shown on screen, a line chart visual in report pager. In the chart, I have a trend line along with the changes of the date time, which has the data label points by three colors: red, green, and brown. It describes the different BP values along with the changing of the BP reading date time. The red color straight line is a benchmark line, stands for the corresponding maximum BP threshold. The brown benchmark line stands for the minimum systolic threshold. If a point number is above the red color benchmark line, then it will be marked as red color. If it is fall in the area between the red benchmark line and the brown benchmark line, it will be marked as a green point. Otherwise, if it falls below the brown benchmark line, it will be marked as a brown color. In top menu, we have many slicers to choose different measures: person and his or her BP reading date and time, the corresponding age and BP reading date and time. Thus, the three benchmark lines, maximum, normal, and minimum BP thresholds, are also dynamic lines and will be changing according to the different combination of those slicer selections. From the visual example, you can see that we have used the DAX formula not only created the calculated column for fixed values, such as field values for each record for conditional format, but also created the measures for changing values based on the selected context, such as the blood pressure checking benchmarks in terms of the different age groups and gender. In this video, I shall demonstrate one way to use DAX function to create those required calculated columns and measures for the line chart conditionally format. Okay, let's get started. The idea will be that we shall first create the benchmark measures for the maximum, normal, and minimum thresholds of BP systolic and diastolic in terms of the selected person name, age, and gender for BP records. Then create calculated columns by comparing each BP record in fact table with those benchmark measures. As we know that after Power BI October's updates, we are able to create the DAX measures in model view, which brings the benefits where creating the measures, we have completed visibility of existing relationships between tables. Move to the sample file model view. We have one dimension table BP chart by age created in previous video, range to list with Power Query function. If you want to watch this video, you may check my channel or click the left top highlighted link of suggested video. In the table, we have a gender list and age list in two columns. It has not physical relationship with the fact table blood pressure list, as we may not have such list yet at this phase in this video demo. But if required, you can link this dimension table to fact table by creating additional mapping key column in both tables with DAX formula. As shown example, you may combine gender column and age column into one mapping key column with DAX operator, and symbol, double quotes, delimiters, and fixed function. Then link the two tables by the created mapping column value. Okay, let's move back to the original sample file. In model view, click table for hosting measures. We shall create our first measure, systolic underscore max. Ensure that we are in Home tab. On top ribbon, click New Measures icon. Name the measures. Define first variable as underscore name for looking up the measured personnel name by using Selectedvalue function from table measured personnel data column personnel name. Define second variable underscore age. If we do not have the age of record in list, then we should find and use the personnel dynamic age according to his birthday date from measured personnel data table with function Lookupvalue. Otherwise, we use the age of record from the record list table. Third variable should be the underscore gender. We look up the gender info from measured personnel table by variable underscore name. Fourth variable should be the underscore systolic underscore max underscore underscore 65. We look up the systolic benchmark value from table BP chart by age column maximum BP systolic against the variable underscore age and the variable underscore gender. Fifth variable should be the underscore systolic underscore max underscore larger than underscore 65. We still look up this systolic benchmark value from table BP chart by age column maximum BP systolic, but against the constant age 65 and variable underscore gender. Finally, we return the systolic max value to the measure as if value of variable underscore age is larger than 65, then return the value of variable underscore systolic underscore max underscore larger than underscore 65. Otherwise, return the value of variable underscore systolic underscore max underscore 65. Repeat the same steps to create the measure systolic underscore minimum, systolic underscore normal, diastolic underscore max, diastolic underscore mini, and diastolic underscore normal. Now it is time to generate the calculated columns for field value to format BP record data label point in line chart. In model view, choose the fact table blood pressure list. Ensure Home tab is selected. Click New Column icon. Name the columns as systolic record color codes. Enter DAX function, switch open bracket. Function 2 open and close bracket, comma. When record systolic BP is not smaller than the measure systolic underscore max, then read color code #FF0000. When record systolic BP falls in the range between measure systolic underscore max and the systolic underscore minimum, then green color code #73D100. When record systolic BP is not larger than the measure systolic underscore minimum, then brown color code #FFA500. The color codes can be found from Power BI desktop file. For example, on a report page, choose any visual which has the text or number inputs. On top left Visualizations tab, choose the Format Your Visual option. On Format List, find and choose a value option. In Font Color icon, click the face down arrow and choose More Colors. In the box under HEX, you have the color code. Adjust the value in the value box of red, green, and blue. You may redefine the color codes as you wish. Back to the model view, in fact table, we repeat the same steps to create the column diastolic record color codes. Move to Data View and choose the fact table. We see that the two new columns created and the corresponding color codes listed in the columns. Now it is time to do conditional format in BP record line chart. Move to the report page and report view. Click the line chart for trends of systolic BP and diastolic BP with date time. Let's first check the section of Add Data to your visual. There we can find which measures are added under the y-axis. Then check the section of Format Your Visual. Choose Visual Part. There we can format BP benchmark lines in the line section under Colors. To format the BP record points, go to section Data Labels. In the first box under Series, choose which series you want to apply the format setting. Let's choose the systolic BP. Then move to the section Values. Under Color section, click the Formula Expression icon. In pop-up, choose Field Value as format style. Choose Systolic Record Color Codes and Space Field. OK to apply. We see the data label color applied to the systolic BP data points in chart. Repeat the field value conditional format setting to the data label point of a series diastolic BP in chart. Let's place the top slicers in report for few selections. We see that the dynamic adjustments and changes on data label colors and benchmark line positions. In coming video, I shall demonstrate a way on how to create the DAX measures to construct and format the gauge visual in the report. Thanks for your watching. If you like to watch more videos from my channel, please press subscribe button. See you in next video.